Okay. Okay, so this is just some practice problems in converting from one SI prefix to another SI prefix. So we're not going necessarily into different units, but we are going from, say, a kilogram to a gram. All right. And so this is a worksheet I found. This was put on the sciencespot.net. It's a really good website. They put different ones. I thought this was a well explained one. So the first thing is we did in class is we went ahead and we labeled these, right? And so we created our a ladder method right here. I like to call it the step method because I feel like you're taking steps down. And they use ladder method here. Same thing, really doesn't make a difference. But the basic units right here that we're going to be using right here, and I went ahead and labeled those. So grams is for mass, right? And we see the label of G. Liters is our volume, right? L liters is a derived unit, but it's still the common one we're going to use. So capital L there. Meters is distance, and we abbreviate that with M. And seconds, S. So if we just see one letter and it's one of these, we know it's the basic unit right here. We're coming to this middle point. If we go up in our scale here, these are bigger values, right? So a kilo is 10 to the third, right? So a kilometer, a kilometer, 10 to the third. So that's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, an abbreviation of K. Hecto is 10 to the second, abbreviation is H. So that means there's 100 meters in 1 hectometer. Deca, 10 to the first, so there's 10. So there's 10 meters in 1 decameter. Deci right here, right? So that means we're going less than, so 1 over 10, so 1/10. So that means there is 10 decimeters in 1 meter. Okay, this is because it's a fraction of the whole. Centi, this is right here. Centa is 10 to the negative 2, so that is 100th of a meter. So it would take 100 centimeters to make 1 meter. And this is a thousandth right here. Milli is 10 to the negative third, or 1 over 1,000, or 1 over 10 to the third. Either way, same one. And our abbreviation here is M. So in each of these, when we do conversions, we're looking at two things. We're looking at what is the prefix or the base unit to start with, and then what is it to end with. And we're just taking those amount of steps like we talked about in our previous video. So we're just going to work these out for practice to go ahead and make sure that everyone feels kind of comfortable doing these right here. Oh, if I go here, you can actually, no, it's not that important. There was a video on the website, but it's not a big deal. So if I go start with 1,000 milligrams right here, okay, my base unit is grams, and my prefix is M for milli, right? So I'm starting right here. I'm going to grams. There's no other prefix right here, so I'm going back to my basic unit of a gram. So I just need to count the amount of steps I take on my steps here. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going 3 steps up to the left. That means I need to move my decimal 3 times to the left here. So if it's right here, I move it 1, 2, 3 to the left. So this would then become 1.000. Now, any zeros after this decimal, we do not need to write right here. So we're not worrying about sig figs or anything like that. So I can go ahead and actually erase those if I wanted to. For funsies, if you guys wanted to keep writing those are fine. Either way is acceptable. So, but as long as it's after the decimal, you don't have to write those zeros there if there's nothing else. So let's do this next one. So this was going from a milli to a base. Well, notice now we're going from a base unit to milli, right? So a milliliter in this case, because our base unit is liter. So I'm starting with my basic unit right here, a liter, and I'm going down 1, 2, 3 steps to the right. That means I need to move my decimal 3 times to the right. Well, notice there's no numbers here. So because there's no numbers here, I need to add a 0 to indicate that this is an actual value before the decimal. So 1, 2, 3. I move that over 3 times, and that decimal then would go right there, right? Because it's moving 1, 2, 3 times to the right. Now, I don't actually have to keep that decimal. I can erase it, but that's where it would be at this point. So 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters here. Next one, 160 centimeters is equal to how many millimeters? Okay, well, centimeters is right here on my chart. I'm looking for centa. My base unit is meters. I'm looking for my prefix as centi, right? Centimeters right here. And then I go to milli right here. So I'm going down 1 time to the right. So I just need to move this to the right one. So it's at 160. I move it 1 to the right. That's going to add a 0. So the decimal would then be right there. Okay, I don't need to keep that decimal. You don't have to write that decimal there unless there's a number after it. But otherwise, I have 1,600 millimeters, comes from 160 centimeters. So each time we're just identifying the two prefixes, or if there's no prefix, it's a base unit right here, and then how many steps we take in the direction it's going. So 14 kilometers. For 14 kilometers, I start with a kilo right here, right? I'm going to my base unit of meters. So I take 1, 2, 3 steps going down. So 3 steps to the right. So I move it over 1, 2, 3. I could throw a comma in here. 14,000 meters right here. Okay, because that's 1, 2, 3 steps down. All right. 109 grams to kilograms. So I'm starting with my base unit. I'm going up to kilograms. So that's 1, 2, 3 steps up to the left. So to the left here, I'm going to go. Decimal is right here after the 9. So 1, that's puts before the 9. 2 puts it before the 0. 3 puts it before the 1. So this would be 0.109 here. And the last one of these is 250 meters is equal to how many kilometers? Okay, well, I have meters right here. I'm going up 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 to the left because it's moving up to the left. So it's right here after the 0. Before the 0 is 1. Before the 5 is 2. Before the 2 is 3. So that's 0.250 right here, kilometers. Now notice for both of these are both the base unit, and I'm moving up to kilograms. So it really doesn't matter how I'm starting, what base I'm starting at. If I'm going to the kilo, right, I'm moving it over 3 from the base. That's a huge benefit of the metric system. It doesn't matter what base you're using, whether it's grams or meters. The conversion's the same, right? And we don't get that when we use the standard system of, say, like miles to inches, or let's say instead of going miles to inches, we go miles to yards, right? Those are way two different conversions here. Or say if we want to go from like pounds to ounces, I can't use my same conversion method from pounds to ounces from miles to inches. All right, I would have to use completely different numbers. Here, I'm using two different systems, right? This is a mass, this is a distance, but I can use the same method, and that's why the metric system is so nice. All right, let's do some comparisons. Anytime you do comparison, I need to go ahead and make sure they're in the same unit, right? This is centimeters, this is meters, right? If I were to ask you what is more, 13 dozen eggs or 151 eggs, you might not know that off the top of your head, right? We have to do a conversion. I could convert 13 dozen eggs to how many eggs that is. So I would have to take 13 times 12. Well, I know that 12 squared is 144, so plus 12 to 144, that should give me 156. So which is greater, 156 eggs or 151? Well, I know 156 is, right? So I know 13 dozen eggs is greater. But I had to go through that process, and that's what we have to do here. You just got to convert one of these. So I'm going to convert centimeters to meters. So I'm going to take 56 centimeters here. So I'm going to go, my prefix is centi, and I'm going to go up here 1, 2 to the left. So I'm going to move this over 1 to the left. So this would become 0.56 and meters. Okay, now I just need to say, well, which one's bigger, 6 meters or 0.56 meters, right? I always think in my head, I'm working with my little son on this, alligator. I know we say this is the less than, but I just don't think that's as fun. The alligator always points the bigger one. It's going to eat the bigger number. So yeah, it's pointing to the 6 because definitely 6 is more than 10 times bigger than 0.56 right there, right? So let's do this one. These look fairly, maybe you think like, oh, maybe these are close to the same number here. If I do my conversion here, I know it's 1,000. So, this is a little bit, seems maybe by inspection, but let's go ahead and do the conversion. So I have 698 milligrams right here. Let's go ahead and convert that to grams. So if I start with milli and I go up to my base unit of grams, that's 1, 2, 3 to the left. So I'm going to move this 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's actually not as close as I thought. That's 0.698 grams, right? And this is 7 grams. So this is more than 10 times bigger than this one. So I got to point it to the 7 because my 7 is bigger number, and the alligator will for sure eat that one. All right. Let's go ahead and do some more here. This is just a review of our making sure we know our names, right? So kilogram, I know kilo is K and gram is G. Meter is M. Gram is just G. Milliliter, M, capital L here. Liter is technically You want to capitalize that L there for liter. Millimeter, that's mm. Liter, no prefix there. It's my base unit, L. Kilometer, right? km, centimeter, cm, milligram, mg here. Okay. So notice once you start to get the hang of these, come pretty quick to kind of help you go through these. So here's just more conversions. I went ahead and I took a picture of my ladder here so I can go ahead and use this even though I'm not on that first page. So I'm going to first start with 2,000 milligrams and go to grams, right? So milli to the base unit. Milli right here, 1, 2, 3 to the left. And I'm going to move this over, 1, 2, 3 to the left. So this just becomes 2 grams right here. 104 kilometers to meters. All right, well, I'm going to start with kilometers and then go to my base unit here. So kilometers, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 to the right. So this should move this 3 to the right, which is just going to add 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 104,000 meters there. Okay, 480 centimeters to meters. Again, I have centimeters right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and convert that. So centimeters is right here, and to meters, it's 1, 2 to the left. So I'm moving this 1, 2 to the left. That's 4.80 meters. Remember that 0 is trailing, so I don't have to write that. So I can just write it as 4.8 meters here. All right, 5.6 kilometers, 5.6 kilograms. Convert that to grams. So kilograms, start right here, go to grams, down to my base, 1, 2, 3 to the right. So I'd have to move this to the right, 1, 2, 3. There's no spots here, so I add those zeros. So then this becomes 600. So 5,600 grams. Okay, 8 millimeters. All right, so this is 8 millimeters right here. I need to go to centimeters. I go on my chart here. So that's millimeters to centimeters. That's 1 to the left right here. So I'm going up 1. All right. Move this 1 to the left. That would give me 0.8. Now, sometimes what you see is just to distinguish it. Let me give them a little space there. I'm running out of space. Okay. A lot of times people write this as 0.8. There's good logistical reasons for this, is that they just want to be able to clearly see where the decimal is. You don't have to. It does look a little nicer, a little easier to understand. Okay, at this point, I would highly recommend that you pause the video. Okay, pause the video and go ahead and see if you can work out these 10 on your own. All right. When I went over this in class, we talked about this. I highly recommend we gave time to work these out. See if you can do these on your own. All right. So take a moment, pause the video, come back once you attempted these, and I will go ahead and work these out. I'm just going to go through these real quick, and show you what the answer. So you kind of work these out and see if you're getting them right. Right? It's not just one thing to watch a video and see how someone does it. You need to test yourself and see if you're actually getting it or not. So pause the video. Once you haven't worked out, come back and do it. Okay. Hopefully you have tried these for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go through these ones quickly. I'm going to go liters to milliliters, right? If I'm at my base unit, I'm going down 3. So I just move this 3 to the right. That'd be 5,000 milliliters right here. 198 grams to kilograms. So that would be 3 steps up. So that's 3 steps left. So that would be 0.198. 75 milliliters to liters. So milli is down at the bottom. I would take 3 steps up to the left. So that's going to move it over 3 to the left. So 0.075 liters. Meters to centimeters. So meters are right in the middle. This would be 2 steps down. So that is 10 to the negative 2. So this would be 2. I'm down 2. I need to go 2 up. So to the left. So this would be 0.5. I could put 0.50, but I don't need to have that trailing. But I do want that one there. It makes it a little easier to see. Okay, now I'm going to go the opposite direction here, right? Meters to centimeters. So now I'm going 2 down, right? So it's going to add 1, 2 to the right here. And so 560 centimeters. Hopefully you got those right. If you didn't get them right, take a look at your chart and make sure you're going the right direction of what you need to be. Okay, now these 5, let's do those quickly, see if you got those. 16 centimeters to millimeters. Centimeters is the second to last, millimeters last, so you're going 1 down. So this is just going to make it 1 to the right, 160 millimeters. Meters is my base, and I'm going to go up 3. So this is going to move 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 2.5 kilometers. 65 grams to milligrams. This is right in the middle. Milligrams is at the bottom, so that's 3 steps down. 1, 2, 3. 3 to the right. So that's going to be 65,000 milligrams. 6.3 centimeters to millimeters. So centimeters 10 to the negative 2. Millimeters 10 to the negative third. So it's down 1 step, so 1 to the right. So that's going to be 63 millimeters right here. And then last one right here, 120 milligrams to grams. So I'm at the bottom. I'm going up 3 steps. So this is going to become 0.12. I can drop that last there. Okay. So those are the practice ones there. Now we just need to do 6 more conversions here. So 63 centimeters. We always want to make sure they're the same. I can pull up my ladder here, right here. So centimeters right here. I'm going to my base unit. So that's 1, 2 up to the left. So I'm moving this to the left 2. That's 0.63 meters. Well, 6 meters is definitely bigger than 0.63. So I alligator to the big one, less than sign. Okay, next 5 grams and 508 milligrams. So let's go ahead. This just has one number. Let's do this one. So 5 grams to milligrams. That's going down 1, 2, 3, 3 to the right. So that's going to go 1, 2, 3 zeros right there. That's going to be 5,000 milligrams. Well, 5,000 milligrams is definitely bigger than 508 milligrams. Then I have 1,500 milliliters to 1.5 liters. Okay, well, let's go ahead and convert this to liters right here. Mill again is at the bottom, moving up 1, 2, 3. So move my decimal over 3. This just becomes 1.5 liters. Hey, this is the exact number here. Okay, 3 more. Almost done here. Getting this practice in. Hopefully this is making sense. You're feeling a little more confident in how to go ahead and convert from one SI prefix to another SI prefix. 536 centimeters. Okay, that's right here, centimeters, and I'm going to decimeters, so that's just 1 up. Okay, 1 step up to the left, so I'm moving this 1 to the left. So 536 becomes 53.6 decimeters. Hey, that's also the same. Okay, last 2. 43 milligrams and 5 grams. Okay, let's convert. Let's go 5 grams to milligrams. Grams 1, 2, 3 down to the right. Well, then this would become 5,000 grams, which is definitely bigger than 43 milligrams, right? And I always face it towards the bigger the number. This is the less than sign for this case. And then 3.6 meters to centimeters. Let's go ahead and convert that. Meters down to centimeters is 1, 2 to the right. So this would be 360 centimeters, which is definitely greater than 36 centimeters. So hopefully you feel a little bit better on this here. You got some more practice in how to go from SI prefix 1 to another SI prefix, getting that conversion.